The French Revolution, a period of radical social and political upheaval in France and Europe, spanned from 1789 to 1799. It witnessed the overthrow of the monarchy, the establishment of a republic, and a period of immense social and political change. Its echoes continue to resonate today, a testament to its enduring impact on the world. The French Revolution wasn't a sudden eruption. It was the culmination of centuries of simmering tensions. Decades of economic hardship, social inequality, and political oppression had primed France for a dramatic transformation. Think of a pressure cooker, slowly building steam with nowhere to escape. The French people were that pressure cooker, and the revolution, the inevitable explosion. This essay explores the key causes, events, and lasting legacy of this tumultuous period, showcasing how the French Revolution remains a pivotal moment in human history. It's a story of chaos and change, of hope and despair, and ultimately of the enduring human struggle for liberty. By the late 18th century, France teetered on the brink of economic collapse. Decades of extravagant spending by the monarchy, coupled with costly wars and inefficient tax systems, had drained the nation's coffers. France's involvement in the American Revolution, while ideologically aligned with the colonists' fight for liberty, proved a costly misadventure. The financial burden of supporting the American colonies further exacerbated France's economic woes. The lavish lifestyle of the French court at Versailles, a world of opulent balls and extravagant displays of wealth, stood in stark contrast to the plight of the common people. Marie Antoinette, the Queen of France, became a symbol of this disconnect, her alleged indifference to the suffering of her people further fueling popular resentment. The peasantry, the backbone of the French economy, struggled under the weight of oppressive taxes and feudal obligations. Bad harvests in the years leading up to the revolution compounded their misery, leading to widespread hunger and desperation. French society in the late 18th century was rigidly hierarchical, divided into three distinct estates. The first estate, comprised of the clergy, enjoyed vast wealth and privilege. The second estate, the nobility, similarly benefited from significant power and privilege. The third estate, from wealthy merchants to rural peasants, bore the brunt of taxation. United by grievances, they became the driving force behind the revolution. The Enlightenment emphasized reason, liberty, and sovereignty, fueling revolutionary ideas. By 1788, France was a powder keg awaiting a spark. A series of events in the spring and summer of 1789 ignited the revolution, transforming simmering discontent into open rebellion. A disastrous harvest in 1788, followed by a harsh winter, exacerbated the plight of the poor. Food shortages and soaring bread prices led to widespread hunger and desperation, pushing the populace to the brink. King Louis XVI, facing a financial crisis, convened the Estates General, a representative assembly of the three estates for the first time in over 175 years. The king hoped to raise taxes and address the nation's financial woes. However, the Estates General quickly became a forum for expressing grievances against the monarchy and the privileged orders. The Third Estate, despite representing the vast majority of the population, was routinely outvoted by the First and Second Estates. Frustrated with their lack of representation, members of the Third Estate declared themselves the National Assembly on June 17, 1789, claiming to represent the will of the French people. This act of defiance marked the beginning of the French Revolution. Section 5, A New Era Dawns, the National Assembly and the Fall of the Bastille. The formation of the National Assembly marked a turning point in French history. No longer content with mere reform, the Third Estate now sought to fundamentally reshape the political landscape of France. Fearful of the growing unrest and the king's intentions, Parisians stormed the Bastille on July 14, 1789. The Bastille, a royal fortress and symbol of monarchical oppression, represented the arbitrary power of the king. The storming of the Bastille, a pivotal moment in the early stages of the revolution, demonstrated the collective power of the people. It also highlighted the growing divide between the monarchy and the people. Inspired by events in Paris, uprisings erupted throughout the countryside. Peasants, fueled by anger over centuries of oppression, attacked the chateaux of their feudal lords, destroying records of their obligations and demanding an end to feudalism. The revolution was spreading like wildfire. Section 6, the Declaration of Rights, a promise of liberty and equality. In August 1789, the National Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, a foundational document of the French Revolution and a cornerstone of modern human rights. The Declaration proclaimed the fundamental equality of all men, asserting that men are born and remain free and equal in rights. It guaranteed liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression as natural and imprescriptible rights. Inspired by Enlightenment ideals, the Declaration challenged the very basis of the French monarchy and the feudal order. It proclaimed that the source of sovereignty resided in the nation, not the king. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen served as a beacon of hope, not only for the French people, but also for oppressed people around the world. Its principles would inspire future revolutions and movements for social justice. Section 7. The Monarchy Crumbles, the King's Flight and the Reign of Terror. The early years of the revolution were marked by political turmoil and uncertainty. The monarchy, though weakened, remained a focal point of opposition to the revolution. In June 1791, King Louis XVI and his family attempted to flee France, hoping to rally support for a counter-revolution. However, their escape was thwarted, and the royal family was arrested and returned to Paris. The king's attempted flight further eroded public trust in the monarchy. It strengthened the hand of radical factions within the revolution who sought the abolition of the monarchy and the establishment of a republic. France was now a constitutional monarchy, with the king stripped of much of his power. However, the situation remained volatile, with internal and external threats to the revolution. Section 8. The Rise of Radicalism, the Execution of Louis XVI. The revolution took a decisive turn towards radicalism in 1792. Facing mounting pressure from within and the threat of war with Austria and Prussia, the monarchy's fate hung in the balance. On August 10, 1792, radical revolutionaries, supported by the Parisian mob, stormed the Tuileries Palace, the royal residence in Paris. The king and his family sought refuge with the Legislative Assembly. The monarchy was abolished on September 21, 1792, and France was declared a republic. Louis XVI, stripped of his title and now known as Citizen Louis Capet, was put on trial for treason against the nation. On January 21, 1793, Louis XVI was found guilty and condemned to death by the National Convention, the new governing body of France. His execution by guillotine marked a turning point in the revolution, signaling the end of the monarchy and the rise of radical republicanism. Section 9. The Reign of Terror. Robespierre's bloody grip on power. Following the execution of Louis XVI, France entered a period of unprecedented violence and upheaval known as the Reign of Terror. From September 1793 to July 1794, the Committee of Public Safety, led by Maximilien Robespierre, held sway. The Reign of Terror was characterized by mass executions, often with little or no due process. Anyone suspected of counter-revolutionary activities or even moderate opposition to the radical government was at risk. Robespierre, a lawyer and revolutionary leader, believed that terror was a necessary tool to preserve the revolution and achieve its goals. He argued that swift and ruthless justice was necessary to eliminate threats to the Republic. The terror claimed the lives of tens of thousands of people from all walks of life. Nobles, priests, peasants, and even revolutionaries themselves fell victim to the guillotine. Fear and suspicion permeated every aspect of French society. Section 10. The Fall of the Terror from Revolution to Empire. By the summer of 1794, the Reign of Terror had reached its zenith. On July 27, 1794, Robespierre was arrested and executed, marking the end of the Terror. The revolution's legacy of instability paved the way for Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon seized power in a coup d'etat in 1799, ending the French Revolution.